Hello and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr.MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms, and that, you're preparing your family and you're preparing yourselves, even just mentally, for the seasons and the times that are up ahead. I really believe that our spiritual rescue is here, and there are many supernatural things that are going to happen in different people's lives, but you have to be spiritually ready for that. You have to be spiritually ready for watching Babylon fall, because there's a lot of people are like celebrating, but really the true ramifications of what they will take with them should really encourage one to be sober at this time and to really strengthen themselves spiritually, because that is what will get you through, more than even planning materially or doing that. Yes, all of those are necessary, but strengthen up your spirit, man, for real. Now, a very interesting story coming out of Sudan, where Sudan has actually fired their government spokesperson, or well, the foreign ministry spokesperson, for allegedly making unauthorized statements about his country's position towards Israel. And this story has kind of gone viral. So what happened is this guy, Haida Badawi, he was speaking to media in Khartoum, and he actually spilled the beans, more likely, where he said that Khartoum was actually in talks with Israel, with the Israeli government on normalizing ties. And, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he actually went ahead and welcomed the remarks, quickly, just grabbed onto them. Hours later, Sudan's Foreign Minister Omar Kumareddin said his government had not even discussed the issue. So who's telling the truth and who's lying? Was Haida Badawi used to kind of just put that word out there? Because Israel has been trying to penetrate Africa for a long time. I don't know if any of you are aware of it, but actually most African nations support the Palestinian Liberation Organization for their move. I think it's one of the statutes of African Union about, supporting the revolutionary movements across the world, something like that. Something they've even forgotten was in there. But so they've supported PLO. I think PLO was even made like an observing member or something like that of the African Union. And the Palestinians have been lobbying for so long, especially with the Arab countries, Islamic countries, to ensure that Israel never got a sideways. So it's weird that Haida Badawi would make such remarks, knowing how sensitive the subject is, and then hours later, his Sudan's foreign minister not only says that the government wasn't discussing that, but even went as far as firing his ass. I mean, that's like, I don't know. And the fact that Prime Minister Netanyahu he was like, we're so happy to hear this. And then hours later, it's like, nah, we didn't say that. And actually, in a very surprising move last week, the United Arab Emirates confirmed it was normalizing ties with Israel. And last February, it was actually reported that Sudan's military ruler, Abdel Fattah, had discussed improving ties with Israel when he met Netanyahu in Uganda. But it looks like that might not be happening. Now, the Palestinians have actually come out and they've said that they've called the United Arab Emirates a traitor for not supporting them. I think it's only three. I think it's only Egypt and the UAE. And if Sudan was to do it, Sudan would become the third that have actually left out of the Arab bloc that have supported Israel. So this is let me know what you think. To all my truth theorists out there, it's not conspiracy, it's the real thing. Because was Mr. Badawi paid to say this, to kind of make it seem, because it's all about that narrative and the global perception and the optics of everything. Although now this is quite embarrassing because, Netanyahu, accepted something that didn't even exist, according to the Sudanese foreign minister. But let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, tuko pamoja.
Wake up, Africa, your time has come. Open up your eyes and see the sun. Open up your spirit.
Wake up, 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 Africa.
Hello and welcome to Africa Watch on the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi How are you doing? How's everything going? I pray you're well in all your ways and that you are living your best life. We're here in London in a place called Shepherd Bush in a very spiritual, I mean, this place feels like a shrine, but it's actually got knowledge, it's got clothes, it's got, you know, the herbs, not the kind of herbs that you're thinking about, to just kind of sort out your mind, heart and spirit. I'm talking about the Ankh Well-Being Center, right? Yeah, that's the one. And you got to check it out if you have a chance. If you're in London, come connect with our peoples. It's all about the network. It's all about coming together and supporting one another. And some big news is coming out of Ethiopia, actually. So we saw that there was this Sudanese revolution that happened, and they were able to oust the Omar al-Bashir after 30 years as president. Then we saw another army, his choice, come in and try and be president, only lasted 24 hours, and now they've put a third person. But actually, and this all happened after a sit-in by Sudanese citizens in front of the army barracks. Now, the government has actually has made some concessions to the protesters. They've been told they can select their prime minister, they can select a few ministers, but the military wants to be in control of the Interior Ministry and the Ministry of Defense, like the two most important. And it kind of makes sense. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So now what happened is that, Abiy Ahmed, he's come out and he has said that he stands with the protesters, and this was a message that came out, and he said, Ethiopia stands with Sudanese demonstrations, and your efforts to voice your demands in a responsible manner is a reflection of your aspirations for a strengthened and democratic Sudan. I mean, I just feel love. This is beautiful. This is absolutely amazing. But have you noticed how we're always now interfering in each other's business? Where 1 minute South Africa, Malema's telling off Mnangagwa. Next minute, Abiy Ahmed is standing with the protesters. This is a twist in political affairs. Is this what we'll see with the younger generation? Let's not forget that Abiy Ahmed is actually the youngest president currently in Africa. He's only 41. And so, it's just huge. And he praised the protesters for their resilience. And I'm telling you, this may seem like a small thing, but it's awesome. And it also shows you that, Abiy Ahmed is in touch with the pulse of the global black nation, because we all feel like that. Amazing how they've kept going and they've kept pushing. And, for those of you who have written on my channel that you think, Sudan revolution is more about the Arab world than the African world, that's the African continent.